Warm welcome to everyone. My name is Katalin Oborni. I am from the HEFEM Research Institute from Budapest, Hungary, and I represent here a project which is called RE-FEM. This is an Erasmus Plus project, and this webinar is organized within the framework of the Erasmus Plus Days event series. The aim of our webinar is to discuss projects to provide you insight to those kind of projects which are supporting women entrepreneurs in some way. And with the hope that we will present projects which are able to make some differences for the women entrepreneurs, or like in general for the business ecosystem the women entrepreneurs belong to. So we hope that we will provide some good insights for you and some advices for you, because this is what we want to talk about. We want to talk about that how our project progress, what kind of challenges we face while implementing this project, and what are our experiences by implementing this project. And we also want to discuss that what can better be done for supporting women entrepreneurs. So I hope we will offer some useful insights for you. And so I am delighted to introduce our guest speakers today. I am thrilled to introduce you Maria Zlatava. She's from the Regional Agency for Entrepreneurship and Innovations from Varna, Bulgaria. And Maria has a vast experience in supporting businesses, and she's a strong advocate for the female entrepreneurship as well. She's currently coordinating a project. That's why we invited you. So coordinating an Interact project, which is called the V Circular project, which is focusing on digital and circular economies in the Danube region. And we will hear a bit more about this project just in 1 minute. But I am also happy to introduce you that we are joined by Diana Kish from the Design Terminal from Hungary as well. And Design Terminal is an international innovation agency supporting talents, so personals and both businesses in developing their personal and business development through business consultations and accelerator programs, and through programs, for instance, which you will introduce. So Diana is the coordinator manager of the Vimenture program project, which is a Horizon project. And I am going to introduce the RE-FEM project as well. And after introducing all projects, we will have a roundtable discussions, and we will, just as it was already introduced, we will talk about the challenges and or insights for the future projects. And then we hope that we will receive a few questions from the attendees. And of course, we will try to do our best to answer the questions towards the end of the roundtable discussions. So I would like to first ask Maria to start your presentation.
Thank you very much for your introduction. I'm going to share my screen. Hope it's visible.
Yes, it's okay.
It's in full screen, I guess, and you can see it well. Before starting my presentation, as you said, it is a project funded by Danube Interregional Program from the first call of the project's proposals. I had good news to share with you that a few months ago, before the summer starts, we received a very good award from the European strategy of the Danube region, that our project was awarded as a flagship project. And this is a huge honor for us because that means that they recognize our project as very important for the priorities of the Danube region. And all the project results and outputs are expected, and hopefully we'll manage to produce very good results to contribute for the policymaking process of the Danube region. So with this introduction, I will tell you how we actually started, because our meeting here is also not only targeting women entrepreneurs, but also what we are doing as a project. So before we start developing this project, we focused on some key issues that were known from the project partners. The first one is existing digital skill gaps of the women entrepreneurs. We also knew that because we had another project, a previous one, under which we realized that there is a very low representation of the women entrepreneurs in the business in general. But we also had this information that when it comes to the circular economy, they are also not very well presented. And in combination with the lack of the digital skills, and also lack of national and regional strategies for circular economy transitions in most of the regions involved in the project and in the Danube region, we decided to go further and to develop such a project. So our overall objective is to increase the digital and business skills of the women entrepreneurs for their circular transition, to give the main stakeholders the appropriate skills that they need in order to prepare the relevant smart specialization strategies that will support women entrepreneurs and will help to make their transition to digital and circular economy. So these are some main data for the project. As I already mentioned, this is from the first call from the Danube regional program. The duration of 3 months. We started just this year and will complete in June 2026. And the overall budget is about 2.4 million euro for the whole project partners. We are a huge partnership. I'm not going to read all the project partners, just to mention that from 14 regions in the Danube, we cover 12 countries. So we more or less managed to cover the whole region and include in the partnership all the representatives of the quadruple helix model that are important for achieving our goals. Business support organization, academia and research, non-profit organizations, sectoral agencies, and public organizations. And also we have associated strategic partners, which are very important for us. These are mainly policymakers. As you can see, we have here 5 ministries, we have local authorities, regional authorities, and public agencies responsible for implementation of the operational programs and support programs in different countries. Our main activities in the project are divided in 3 main dimensions. The first one is development of innovative training for women entrepreneurs. So we are targeting here improving the skills of women entrepreneurs. On the other side, we want to support them providing targeted support for their business development and to develop circular business models. This activity we do together with women entrepreneurs. And the third activity main focus is increasing the capacity of the policymakers. We believe that if we want to have adequate policies in the region, we have to educate the policymakers and to show them what are the main problems and how we can overcome in order to achieve this success on the policy level. Since we are at very beginning of the project, what we are doing now in this training for women entrepreneurs is development of skill gaps and needs analysis, firstly on the national level, then on the transnational one. We are going to make a training program, which will be based on identified good practices from every country. More than 36 are expected. We are going to have 6 study visits and 1 training program. And we are going to establish a WE Circular Learning Network that will be online tool through e-learning platform and self-assessment tool, which network we believe will manage to involve not only project partners and strategic partners, but also external for the partnership organizations who believe in what we are doing and think that this will contribute for improving the skills and knowledge of women entrepreneurs. So currently we're at the stage in which already finished with national and transnational analysis. I could share with you that just a week or two ago, we uploaded the transnational analysis and national one on our webpage, where you can go for more details and to see in details what we found out. Here I will make very short overview, and what I can share is that the transnational analysis actually is based on one survey that we made among women entrepreneurs from all the countries. Also, we made interviews with the stakeholders, and we also identified successful women who managed successfully to digitalize their business and to make a good circular transition. And they also shared their experience with the need and challenges and how they actually overcome them and what motivated them. You can see here on this slide the representing participants in the survey and in the interviews that we taken. Based on the analysis, and what we, after we proceed all the data that we gathered, we grouped the needs and barriers of women entrepreneurs in two main dimensions. The first one is linked with their transition to Industry 4.0. And as you can see from the slide, the biggest barrier for them is access to finance. This is mainly because this investment that is necessary for to buy and to have a digital infrastructure is very expensive, and they need a lot of financial resources, mainly because of this. This is on the first place. On the second place, they realize that they need skills, how to do this, and how actually to transfer their business and become more digital. Third barrier for them on the third place is networking and mentoring that is extremely important for women entrepreneurs. Of course, the policy and regulatory support is indicated as a very important barrier, access to the technology and infrastructure, and there are some points related with this, that they don't have enough time to do this, that they need time to learn, but they are overloaded with everyday tasks and their family engagements, which is also one of the main barriers. And also they have some challenges in entering the new markets and forming strategic partnership. When it comes to the circular economy transition, the main barrier, as you can see from our survey, actually, is that 26% of all the surveyed and responded women, they said that they don't know how to do this. So there is a very big awareness gap. Then we go to a lack of skills. Lack of skills when it comes to the women entrepreneurs, when it comes to the staff who is working in these companies. Again, we see here that they don't have time to do this. At least this is from the responses that we have. They're overloaded with family and work jobs. And they also don't have knowledge about some legal procedures, how to do this. Only 11% you can see here, they say that one of the barriers is lack of financing. And about 12% of all the surveyed women says that this process is under development. Here we consolidated some key recommendations, also divided in three areas for improving skills, for providing business support, and for policy improvement point of view. And when it comes to the skills, improving of the skills, we believe that development of specialized training programs is extremely important. Because of the answers that we received from the interviews and from the surveys, it was obvious that skill development has to be prioritized, not general, but to be focused on some specific sectors like agriculture, food, textile and fashion, construction and energy. And also it's very important to promote examples of successful women, so the role models still are very important tool for improving skills. When it comes to the providing of business support, enhancing the networking and mentorship is one of the suggested recommendations. Of course, introducing a targeted financial mechanisms like grants and preferential loans and microcredits are also very important. And we believe that it is necessary to ensure that women entrepreneurs have necessary digital tools and high-speed internet to participate fully in the digital economy. When it comes to the policy improvement, the policies needs to be improved definitely and has to be promoted inclusive policies. It is necessary to be it's necessary to be provided policies with that could support women to support them in flexible work arrangements and to help them to balance their work life. It is also necessary to increase the effort to spread the awareness of the circular economy benefits, because we think that this is very, very important. The women still don't have idea about it and don't know how to do this. So on the policy level, it's also very important to be made tools and measures in order to increase the awareness. When it comes to direct support of the business, what we are doing in this project is just on the starting point with the development of circular economy business models. We are going to establish with circular labs in each country that is participating in the project. And the idea behind is that these labs are going to provide targeted support to women entrepreneurs and will gather around a lot of stakeholders who are also and experts who are also going to support us in this activity. In order to attract women to participate in this process, we think it's very important they to contribute directly in this process of development of the business models. That's why we are going to organize an innovation contest for them. This contest is going to be on transnational level. All countries which are involved in the project are welcome to participate in this contest, and women to provide their ideas on how they want to make their business circular, if it's linear, or maybe they already introduced some circular business model but want to update, to upgrade something and to change. They will have a chance to work under the project with our experts and to receive specific support in implementation of their ideas in practice. At the end, we expect to develop together with them these 3 circular business models, which are going to be pilot tested and disseminated on public to be used by everybody who is interested. When it comes to the policymakers' capacity, our last area of intervention during the project, as I mentioned in the beginning, we believe that it's very important to increase the capacity of the policymakers. That's why we are going to make an analysis. Actually, we finished this analysis. Soon it's going to be uploaded and it's going to be on public to identify what are the needs and recommendations for improvement on the policy level in all involved countries. And based on other project results, we are going to make a special training for improving the capacity of the policymakers through the policymaking camp that is going to be in Hungary. All the activities based on this are going to provide input for development on transnational strategy for women entrepreneurship circular transition and 12 regional action plans that are going to be implemented in the involved countries. And these activities are actually going to be delivered through a policy learning center that is actually going to be based in Austria and will be a contact point for all the policymaking interested organizations and stakeholders. And I think that this is my last slide. Yes, thank you very much for your attention, and I'm here for further questions. You can see here is the link to our website where you can find the documents which I mentioned, and also our social media channels. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Maria. It was very interesting to see that you have these activities to engage the policy actors. So I think we are all interested to hear more about it. So I'm sure we will have a question about it. So thank you very much, and let's move to our next speaker. So Diana, please, you can start your presentation if you are ready.
Yeah, the policy question is always a great challenge, so we might help each other with knowledge sharing. And I already saw that there are many overlapping parts of our concept regarding the project. So I'm also happy to present it. Is it full screen already? Is it full screen?
Not yet, but now we can see it. So it's okay, you can go ahead.
I should have wait. This is my biggest challenge, to wait. So I'm here today to present you WomenShare and to present what have we done in the past a bit more than 1.5 years, and how can you still stay in touch with us and be engaged with the project. So do you maybe know what percentage of women-founded startups received investment in the Central European region? Please send your vote in chat. And maybe, Catherine, if you could help by reading the answers, would help, because by presenting I cannot see.
At the moment, we don't have an answer, but I'm sure it's very low.
Okay, I'm going to wait 5 more seconds.
It's so someone says it's 5%.
One more vote from someone.
I am sure it's below 10%, even below 5%.
True. Okay, so something was connected to 5, but the number is 1, because in 2020, women-funded startups in this region received only 1% of investment, while mixed gender teams received 5. So 5 was almost correct. In WomenShare, what do? We empower innovation agencies and accelerators to boost female entrepreneurship. Like all of our startups has a one-liner, one sentence to describe what we do. We also do have a really nice long sentence, but this is the core things that I highlighted, because we would like to boost female entrepreneurship while broadening the ecosystem. We are focusing on 3 main topics with WomenShare. This is the network, the business support program, and capacity building. By the network, I mean entrepreneurs and innovation actors, similar initiatives, accelerators, incubators, investors, and public sector. We are collaborating to present a supportive ecosystem for female entrepreneurs. We had a pilot pre-accelerator program in the springtime. We supported 20 fantastic female entrepreneurs. I mean, those who wanted to start their entrepreneurial journey. So we had to find those who are open to make the first steps, but didn't have any experience yet. And what does capacity building meaning? Exactly what we are doing right now can be called a capacity building. This is a Horizon Europe or European thing that is commonly used in such kind of projects. But for you, those who are participating in this call, maybe a knowledge sharing and collaboration activities could fit. This is a 2-year-long project, so we are going to terminate soon. But we are organizing still 2 fantastic events where you can join online. I'm going to share a few insights about it a bit later. And this is a cute and very nice project, I guess, because we are 4 partners collaborating. So because of that, we were quite lucky. It was easy to share knowledge among partners. It was a quite efficient project. So we have partners from Czechia, from Germany, from Estonia as well. They are all accelerators, innovators. So what happened until now? We started in 2023 spring. We wanted to map first, as Maria also said, what should we do? How should we do? How should we support female entrepreneurs in an effective way? Because we wanted to give the exact answers for the needs. So based on our research, we co-created with our partners the pre-acceleration program, and in the next year, in the summertime, we participated Latitude 59 conference, which is I guess the biggest startup conference in Europe. We had a side event on that and presented the 5 best startups. What could we find in the analysis? There were a few things that we could think about, and of course there were a few ones that we couldn't, so we decided to focus on those that we could. It was a limited network and mentoring opportunities for female entrepreneurs. To tell the truth, when I started this project, when I was invited to coordinate it, I didn't really understand why should we care about separately about female entrepreneurs. Why is it a different topic? We are all human, and that's all. And then, based on the research and the deep dialogues, I could understand that a bit different aspects are needed, such as more intense focus on work-life balance and family responsibilities to give soft skill support as well for female entrepreneurs, not only knowledge. But the lack of confidence is connected to the lack of knowledge. At least females tend to feel more that they lack of knowledge. That's why they are lack of confidence. So that's why the mentoring is really, really important. Just like Maria also said, that we want to make them capable. They want to make them believe that they are able to participate in the game of business. And the role models was also a big, it was also an important thing in our project. That's why we selected a few role models that you can check on our website, with whom we collaborated. We asked their opinion how to organize events. We invited them to inspire other female entrepreneurs, and they shared best practices in social media. So you can still check the website. How should you, sorry, not only the website, but also the social media site. And our answers based on the analysis was to focus on idea phase, because it's quite challenging for female entrepreneurial-minded people to start their journey. They need bigger support with that. I already mentioned the soft skill focus, like time management. Like when you are studying marketing, it's not only about professional knowledge, but the mindset. How should you use your personal branding skills? And the one-on-one mentorings, we found the most useful one, because females don't have time to waste. They want the answers exactly for their questions. And for that, they need good mentors and dedicated time. And the frequent check-ins that we decided to do, such as the regular follow-ups, is that they had meeting with a professional key mentor, and then they had meeting with us, like the staff, the coordinators, so we could encourage them not to stop their journey. Because many female entrepreneurs are already mothers, they have family responsibilities, and it's a very common thing that they stop their entrepreneurial journey because of caring of the family. And by supporting them in this journey, by putting in their calendar frequent check-ins might help them. We participated as 4 partners in the project, and we selected 20 startups, meaning that we divided among the partners the startups. So one partner had maximum 5 startups to care about. This way, we could make sure the quality instead of the quantity. We created the ambassador program to present role models that I've already said. We learned that the community is something that is really important for female entrepreneurs, because they can organically share best practices. They can see that others struggle with similar things like they do, inspiring mentors, networking opportunities. Although it's online, it's really important to ensure opportunities to share best practices during a networking time, because this is peer learning actually. And you can see here the clear game rules, the predictability. This is also connected to that they don't have time to waste. They want to see clear how should they be prepared for the game, for the mentoring. How much time do they have to dedicate? And of course, everybody likes that, but especially female entrepreneurs do. We got very nice feedback after the pre-acceleration program. Maybe you don't have the patience to read it through right now, but from the emojis, you can see that they were quite delighted after the program. It was quite fun to work with fantastic entrepreneurial-minded women, because that's also an important thing, that you have to feel if you are an entrepreneurial type or not. This is not for everybody. Another nice example of the feedback. A few numbers to highlight of our program. We delivered 107 training hours. We invited to our inspirational events and mentoring program 47 mentors and speakers altogether. Sorry. And 247 startups applied from 39 countries, which was a lot more than we expected, showing that there is a great need for such kind of programs. In our last report, we counted more than 600 hub members. You can find them, a part of them, in our Slack online community channel. I would be happy to send you an invite link in the chat later on if you are interested. Katalin is already a part of that, if I'm right. We worked together with almost 20 ambassadors, and one of our most popular posts reached 90,000 people, and we organized 9 networking events. I forgot to refresh this number, so we have 2 more inspirational get-together events, one in October and one in November. About the next upcoming one, I already shared in the chat the Eventbrite link, where you can still register. And we are a growing community, even though we are going to close the project soon. I'm a bit ill, sorry. So we want to make sure that the community won't die after the project ends, so you can still join. And I think I'm going to finish the presentation now, because I cannot speak.
Okay, thank you, Diana, for introducing your project. I want to reflect on, well, we will reflect on a couple of things. But one thing I want to reflect on that you were talking about that there was a point in your project when you were saying yourself that why a project needed to specifically focusing on women entrepreneurship, and this is a question I also have experience that receiving this question. So it's so I just want to say that that's why it is important to have this project, because I also have this as a researcher and manager. I have this experience that we always have to explain ourselves that why these projects are needed. So that's why it's really important that we have this analysis, we have this research included in the project activities, and I'm really happy to see that we are invited these complex projects here, because this is connected to why we need to focus on women entrepreneurs. Because I think and I hopefully the participants also see that these are complex projects in the sense that they are not targeting only the women entrepreneurs. So so we hope that at this point you get that we are not want to only fix the women. So because I think this is extremely important, that these projects are driven by, maybe this is too big to set, but really initiating change, initiating structural change. So that's why I'm happy to see that you are involving those actors who are surrounding the women entrepreneurs. So that's why I think it's important that we are speaking the responsibilities and the roles of those who are in charge of supporting women entrepreneurs, and not only to focusing on women entrepreneurs, because of course we see that we need to help women entrepreneurs to develop new skills. For instance, we are facing this new hot topic of the artificial intelligence. So yeah, so this is my first impression out of your presentations. And now I would like to briefly introduce the RE-FEM project as well, just to give you what is the base for me here to facilitate this webinar. So I'm going to try to present as well. Okay, so this is the very end of my presentation, so I just go quickly to the beginning. Okay, so I am presenting a RE-FEM project, and the key word in our project, so this is upskilling pathways for resiliency in the post-COVID era for female entrepreneurs. So the key word here is the resiliency. This project is focusing on how to help women to become resilient business actors. Our project, this is a cooperation partnership under the Erasmus Plus program, and we have 8 partners involved in this project from 7 European countries. And I apologize for all project partners that I am not listing them here, but every detailed information can be found on our project website, but we are inviting, so this is what I'm telling, so we are inviting, we have partners from Spain, Finland, and as you can see, we have a strong CEE focus on entrepreneurship. So we have partners from Slovakia, Romania, Bulgaria, and Serbia. We are past half of the project, and we will end the project in October in 2025. I was already talking about that, how important it is to involve everyone who is surrounding the women entrepreneurs. So our main target group is not the women entrepreneurs, although they are indirectly involved in the project, and indirectly we are targeting women entrepreneurs. So our main target group is the educators, the trainers, and the mentors. We want to reach, so primarily we want to reach the educators, trainers, mentors, and we designed our activities to involve primarily the educators and the trainers. And of course, indirectly, because this is the ultimate goal of our project, to support women entrepreneurs. Of course, we involve women entrepreneurs with direct activities into our project. And just like in any other projects, it's seemingly important to involve other stakeholders as well, as we have activities which are about data collection. So we try to reach experts, we try to reach national and EU decision makers as well, because we find it important to involve them in the knowledge creation through our project. So what we are doing in our project, what we do, how we work together is, first we conducted a cross-country research because we wanted to see that how women entrepreneurs survived after the pandemic, and how they are doing this post-pandemic era. So when we were doing the research, we immediately had to change our mind about what kind of era to research. So from now on, we are not talking about the post-COVID era. We are rather talking about, or we suggest it's better to talk about kind of polycrisis, because we are witnessing more than just a crisis connected to the COVID pandemic. For instance, the energy crisis, the inflation, or the all kind of difficulties which is connected that the war started in Ukraine. And after conducting a research, we are delved into a very long process of developing a training manual. In connection to this training manual, we will offer an online course for the women entrepreneurs. And then we also working on maintaining and establishing an international networking group. We are maintaining this networking group through LinkedIn profile. And then also connected to the training material, to the research results, we have an open educational platform, which is hosted at the project website. At this educational platform, we are providing all kind of resources for both the women entrepreneurs and for those who are supporting in any way the women entrepreneurs development. And then we have some activities what we organize physically in the project. One is what is coming in the next year in the springtime is a workshop with decision makers and policy makers. So for instance, this is one idea how we would like to reach the policy makers, that we would like to involve them in the ideation, in the data collection for a recommendation, what we are going to implement as the last activity in our project. So a little bit with the more concrete examples of what we produce in this project. We have a research report which is available at the project website. We conducted interviews with experts and women entrepreneurs, and we also had a survey with more than 600 responses. And we have this training manual, which is coming soon. We will publish it by the end of October. This training manual will include like toolkits and case studies for trainers, sample training exercises, and we will provide also sample presentation for the trainers, which they can use. And then we have this open education platform, which we are constantly building. But so stay tuned about this open education platform, because in the next couple of months, we would like to upload lots of useful resources, materials. Already motivational videos, what we call motivational videos, can be reached. These videos were So these videos features women entrepreneurs who are talking about how they survived the COVID and what they offer to other women entrepreneurs, what they have to do or what they suggest to do during a crisis. So how to survive crisis situation as women entrepreneurs. And then by the end of the project, which will be the end of October next year, we would like to publish a policy study, which will includes a recommendation for policymakers how to better support women entrepreneurs in times of crisis. Just a little bit on our research results. I think, as I heard, Maria, many of our research results are aligned with your research results. one main thing what we are saying is that those women entrepreneurs, so we interviewed those women who survived the COVID, so successfully came out of COVID. It doesn't mean that they improved in terms of, I don't know, profits. So simply just we as women entrepreneurs who could run their enterprises during the COVID, and they were running their enterprises after the COVID as well. But so what we saw is that these women entrepreneurs, they are professionalized somehow, which could mean a lot of things. But one thing, what we see is that they reinvent. So all the women we talked with, they all reinvented their businesses. It could mean, of course, a lot of things. For instance, they entered into the international market. They developed new business plans. So they initiated, employed new business plans. They reinvented their services. They started to digitalize their services. And then other strong result what we have, that the COVID kind of forced the women to improve their networking skills. So they started to join into informal and formal communities. So this is one thing we think is important, that we have to invest more into running, into supporting this either informal or formal communities which gather women entrepreneurs together. And another thing we also found, because Maria, you were talking about that, what are the lack of, I don't know, what are the lacks women entrepreneurs experiences, is the access to finance. And for instance, what we saw from our results, from our data, is that women entrepreneurs turned more to the family resources when they needed financial resource to keep running their enterprises. And less, and in line with it, less to the state funds. And another thing, what we also saw, that part of the strategies to survive the crisis was that they started to learn. So this entrepreneurial learning, this is also very important, what we need to emphasize, and what really provide the base that there are needs for running this kind of project, what we are doing. I hope you are happy to hear this. A few words about the training materials, because this is really just, we are publishing in a few weeks. So we have 5 modules in the training materials, which were developed based on the research results and the previous experiences of the partners. So we will have 5 main topics in the training manual. One is the digital transformation and digital readiness. And then we will have a module on the innovation, finance, and local international market. And then we will have a module about the servitization and innovation, really connected to what the women entrepreneurs experienced during the COVID pandemic. And then we will have a module on sustainability in times of crisis. And then we will have a module, because this is always come up and we could see in the other research analysis results as well, that work-life balance and well-being is a really important topic for the women entrepreneurs. So we will have a module on the personal resilience, well-being, and the gender implication of being a women entrepreneur. So it's only stated women, but we are, of course, speaking of women entrepreneurs. Speaking of gender implications, I think that is one more important reason why we should involve the surrounding environment, so the whole actors of the whole ecosystem, because we believe we have to educate those who are supporting women entrepreneurs, because they have to understand and they have to learn what are the specific needs the women entrepreneurs face, and what are the specific gender-based needs, so the gender implication, so all of the actors has to learn what they have to know if they want to better support women entrepreneurs development. About the open education part, so these are the 2 activities we are currently running and waiting anyone who would like to join and share knowledge So this is two activity we are currently running. One is the open education platform. The open education platform can feature any other project or resource source. So if you have a resource, if you have a training manual or anything you would like us to share on our platform, you are welcome to contact with us, and so we can share your resources as well. It has to do something with the women entrepreneurship. And we have this networking group, and all resources and contacts are available on our platform, and we will be happy to share our presentation with the participants. So this was maybe not so very briefly presentation on our project, and now we would like to continue with a discussion about our project and about future projects. So I think for this, I invite our speakers to let's discuss and let's reflect on some of the questions. And I would like to start with the challenges. Not the challenges the women entrepreneur face, but first the challenges you as the project coordinators face by implementing these kind of projects. So for instance, and this is not something which is new, we all know it, it's often hard to reach our target groups, often hard to reach women entrepreneurs. Because I think when we are offering a training, we are offering a workshop for the women entrepreneurs, it's often something that they have to deal something extra again, next to their work, next to their care duties, next to their, I don't know, constant pressure of that they have to advocate for women entrepreneurs. So what do you think? What are the, or not just what do you think, what do you experience? What are the challenges we have to talk about when you are implementing a project focusing on women entrepreneurship? Maria, please, if you would like to start.
Thank you. I fully agree with you. This is one of the biggest challenge actually to involve women entrepreneurs in the project that you are doing specifically for them. As you know very well, when we are making such kind of projects, we are not making something in general to support women entrepreneurs. We really want to make some tailored support activities, regardless this is a training, regardless this is a business support or some other kind of support, and we definitely need their contribution if we want to make this project working and to have good results and to be useful, the results to be useful for the women entrepreneurs. Our experience shows that in order to overcome this challenge for us as organizations that implement such a project, it is very important to keep a very close contact with women entrepreneurs in general. What I mean, RE-FEM is working about 10 years in this field. And since we are providing direct support service to the companies, we really try to keep them close to us and to expand this network. And also we are trying to work with other organizations. We also have very good networking with other organizations, and especially those who are female representative. And we believe that this is the key to reach this target group and to have good results from them. Mm-hmm. And when it comes to the other groups that are working in the project, the other challenge also is the policymakers, which is always difficult to work with them, especially when you have this integrated approach to provide support in different dimensions. So we also very rely on these good contacts, and it's challenging, definitely, especially in Bulgaria. You know, in the last 2 years, we have 7 elections. And I think that at the end of this month, we have another elections, and this is unstable policy situation. So it's really, really difficult.
Regarding the policymakers, it was not easy for us either, but by now we could find a few best practices, but maybe we are going to get back to this topic with the next question. And forming a community online. was quite challenging because we found the great need to be a part of the community. But even though we have this Slack community, it's quite challenging to make this alive. And we really trust our members to function it organically growing by sharing useful events, by sharing useful tips and tricks. But yeah, we had a few offline events in participating countries, but the pre-acceleration program happened online.
So what I hear from you is it's really so this was a challenge, what you emphasize at contact with the target group. So what I hear from you is really difficult to maintain either an online or another group, but it's kind of necessary. And what I also hear that it's good if you maintain this network beyond the project as well. So thinking in long terms and invite or involve like key persons in these networks who are like can act as, I don't know, ambassadors or something like that. And then other challenge is the policymakers, and we can talk about policymakers now. Maria,
yeah,
for
I meant,
instance,
sorry, I meant more the feeling part, that it was really nice that we could make a broad ecosystem being involved, but the feeling when you can meet precious people offline, I really missed many times.
That's true, because there is too much noise online, and yes, but I guess it is also like helping if you organize this online event. So it's not like a conversation, a forum is going on, but when you organize online events, that should help, I guess. Okay, and speaking of policymakers, because anyway, we wanted to talk about it. So Maria, you mentioned that there is a very unstable environment, but I think it could be also a problem that there is no such an environment which is focusing on supporting women entrepreneurs. So either it's unstable or a non-existing environment. So I'm really curious what you think of this, like in general, that what should be the role of policymakers, or how to, I don't know, better pursue them to provide more resources. This is, I suppose, this is really ongoing for an ongoing issue for each of the projects. So I don't know if you can share more about how do you imagine to, like, for instance, to provide training for policymakers, or who do you consider a policymaker? So what is your strategy to involve them? So I think it would be useful, anything what you can share about engaging policymakers, policy authorities.
Yes, for sure. We have a long years experience with policymakers, not only for women entrepreneurship topic, but also another topics, because we are working. This is one of the areas in which we are working as a regional agency for entrepreneurship and innovations to improve the environment in which the companies are working. And this is actually one of the ways to provide suggestions for improvements of the policy in order to reach to the right people and to make this change happen. It is a long process in which we participated many years, and it's always very hard. Firstly, it's hard because the people are changing, and then the priorities are changing. But I'm not going to go deep in this. I'm just going to share what we did in our VCRPR project. Actually, we did also this in the previous one. For us, it was very important, firstly, to understand what is the role of the policymaker in this process, in the project. We had a clear understanding that we need people who have knowledge about how to make the strategic documents and operational programs and other policy measures that support the businesses, but maybe they miss something related with the gender aspects. In order to reach to the right people, the first step we did is to attract them as strategic partners, because we believe that this is direct involvement of the policymakers, ministries, and public organizations and public administrations in the project. If we entertain them in the project, if we provide them what we did in the project, if we involve them in the activities, we believe that this will increase their capacity from one side in general. Additionally, we are making one stakeholder group and advisory board group within the project for those which are not part of the partnership. So we also attract other policymakers in this way and involve them again in project activities, but more with exchange of experience and change of knowledge, and also to participate in such kinds of activities. And of course, when it comes to the improving of their capacity, our idea behind is that based on all the results that we have related with the policymaking process, analysis that we are making, recommendations and suggestions for improvement of the policy environment, to make a specialized training to explain during this training what tools, measures, what good practices, examples from other European countries could be used in order all the gender aspects with the digital and circular transitions to be included in the main strategic documents of every country. We believe that this is one step to help them, to provide them a tool and knowledge necessary for this process, because this camp from one side is increasing knowledge, from another side is exchange of experience and not networking between people who are actually involved in policy-making process, in drafting and development of the strategic documents.
From our side, a finding regarding policymakers was the continuity, to start working with them around the start of the project, keep them in the loop, and give them quite exact ideas, quite exact points to be engaged. And of course, this is one more thing where you should find the right person. So it's about a personal engagement as well, because this might be a lot of extra effort, a lot of extra work for a certain person to be involved. And it's all about their motivation, I guess.
Mm-hmm. But if you allow me to add, you are absolutely right. But on the other side, it's very important to convince them that actually you are not giving them extra work, but you are actually giving them a support, and somehow you are partly doing their job, actually, at the end. And you are trying to assist their life in order to provide a valuable strategic documents and to change the environment. Not to make them do something additional, but just to gain some benefits from participating in the project activities. I think this is very important.
You might be right, yes.
So what I gathered from what you're saying, that there are a couple of things which can be important if you want to so someone want to engage policymakers. One is that you have to maintain a continuous relationship with them beyond your project as well, and you have to think about it in long terms as well. And one is that they have to see what is the benefits for them, because maybe it's not enough that that it's the society will benefit, but they have to see what is their benefit, or what is the benefit for them, for their institution as well. And then it's that they have to have a clear idea of what is their role. So maybe like influence them, not influence. So what is their role? So what is their personally, like how they can personally motivated to engage in the project. Okay, so thank you. And so let's speak about another issue, which is the needs of the women entrepreneurs. So when we start to implement a project, we already had a proposal, so we already had a plan what to do. And for this, I think it's very important that, so I agree that there is this question usually in the project proposal, that what is the need, what you want to answer for with your project. But this need, of course, can be changed, and maybe you are totally wrong about the need, but you build your project up. So let's talk about, because Diana, you are almost by the end of your project, and Maria, you have other experiences from other projects. So how do you see what are the needs? What are the current needs of the women entrepreneurs? So if you would, for instance, if you would like to advise another partner and what to focus on in another project, so what would you advise? What are the current needs of women entrepreneurs, and how we can address these needs during a 3 years long project? So you can answer for lots of questions. Dana, maybe you can be the first at this time to start.
We planned our project to have a classical incubation acceleration program during that. And when we organized the capacity building workshop, for me, it turned out that sometimes it's a better idea to organize regular events that might not be too big engagement for those who would like to start their entrepreneurial journey. And on these events, like inspirational events, they can gather the most relevant answers for their questions. And of course, the community that I already mentioned in the presentation, and role models. I still would go with that.
Mm-hmm. That could be another good topic to talk about, role models. But let's see first, Maria, what would you say? What are the current needs of women?
I was thinking about your comment that when we start to prepare the proposal, we identify some needs, and it might be that they changed. Yes, it could happen. Sometimes we think, for example, that lack of finances is the biggest need of the women, but as we saw in our survey, when it comes to the circular transition, lack of finances on the second, third place. The main need that they have is to have information and to understand how to do this. So in order to respond to their needs, I think that this path in organization of the trainings, of mentorship programs, it's really good tool, and it's really helped them a lot. So we are on the right way, I think. Accelerating program is also very good approach to respond their needs. And because earlier it was mentioned about difficulties in online trainings, this is very interesting that from our analysis, our surveys and interviews, it was found out that even we provide them online tools and e-platforms and whatever, women still want to have old-fashioned ways, like personal meetings, like workshops, like inspirational events in which they can expand their network, even to present themselves and to find peers and maybe new markets and new partnerships. So I think that in general, we can respond like this on their needs. And if we are experienced in providing support to women, we know how to respond to them.
That's indeed another interesting question, what kind of services to provide to women entrepreneurs. We kind of have the same experience in our project, that we have this networking group, we have this open education platform online, and it's really hard to make activities on this platform. And when we organized, because we organized pilot trainings for the training manual development, and we organized training for both the trainers and for the women entrepreneurs, and it turned out that there is still a need for having these physical meetings with those who are like in the same situation you are. And often they, what I personally experienced, that they don't want to like engage in the program we prepared for them. They just want to be there and talk to each other, like what they are interested in. And I had this feeling that they don't even need the program we provide them. They just want to be there in a place and like raise question by themselves. So
yeah, it's true.
that is also
maybe
helpful.
Yeah, maybe we should react on that. For example, Startup Hungary organizes first Monday, so always the first Monday of each month. And they invite an inspirational speaker. They talk maximum 45 minutes, and then it's about networking. I think it's a really good practice. And they are talking hours, sharing best practices. They really need a platform where they could meet in person.
So if you want to, or at least if I want to argue for what kind of services, I would say that it's both important to have physical meetings, programs, and sharing and generating activities in the online space as well. And speaking of what could be a good program for the women entrepreneurs, and as we are organizing this webinar within the framework of this Erasmus Plus Days event series, so I want us to reflect on, in general, again, on project implementation. So I would like to invite you to share some experience, to share some advice for those who are thinking in developing programs, project for supporting women entrepreneurs. So what do you think, or what would you say, what makes a project a good project focusing on women, on developing women entrepreneurship? If you could share a few points about it.
It is always depending on the program under which this project will be implemented, because you know better than me that there are some programs that are focused more on the training needs, and there are programs focused on business support needs. So if we have a chance to have a project which is going to, that could provide integrated support, like training, business support, and some other kind, I would go for it, because it is good if you can, if you'll be able to cover the whole range of activities to support. Just an example I can give you, we are, as you know, we are EIT Food Hub for Bulgaria, supporting startups. And we are implementing in Bulgaria one program, EVA program in Bulgaria. This is for women in agri-food sector. This is a really good example how these girls and women that participate in the program receive targeted support. From one side, they have a training component. Another side, they have this mentorship component with receiving direct support from people from business. And at the end, they have a pitching competition under which they receive a financial award, the best of them, of course, not everybody. But this is integrated approach in which we can support women entrepreneurs and to respond all their needs. But of course, not of all the programs provide opportunity for cascade funding or some financial support to be provided. So we have to search and to try. And I think that there is a lot of room for improvement of women entrepreneurship in every country. And it is good if a lot of organizations apply and implement such a projects, because women are really needed support. Really, they need somebody to tell them that they're good, that they can, and that they will succeed.
Okay, thank you.
Yes,
And sorry, Dana, before I let you to answer, I would like to say that we are waiting for questions. If somebody would like to ask a question. So if you have a question, please put it into the Q&A chat, because we are soon reaching the end of roundtable discussions. So after Dana answer this specific question, we can continue with question if we receive them. So Dana, please continue.
Yeah, I will be really quick, because I think I already shared my ideas on that. So one-on-one mentoring right because of what you've already just said, that reacting on their personal needs, giving them personal support, soft skill support, and the network. So one-on-one mentoring and networking. And taking in consideration these two elements, I think we can create a really good program, of course, by involving precious speakers and role models.
Okay, thank you. Although you were very quick, I think a lot has been mentioned. I mean, quick by answering this question. So a lot of things were listed by you, for instance, that a whole range of programs are needed, which is like, I know the more you offer, the better your project is. So a whole range of program, and both of you were talking about the needs. So I agree with it. So there should be always some kind of need analysis and follow and like revise what kind of needs you should answer. And then it was said that a good problem should deal with the motivating of the women entrepreneurs. So I think this is also really important. So to encourage and to make them believe that they are doing good, and the personalized services, what you were telling about, Diana, that's also important. So thank you for sharing your ideas. But one more thing I would like to ask you, that what kind of topics do you think is important to elaborate in a next possible project? What kind of specific topics we should tackle in a next project supporting women entrepreneurs? I would say, for instance, that it's not only topics of what kind of program. So I would say that mentoring, I hear from all of you that mentoring is specifically important to include in your project. But what kind of topics you think we should deal with?
I absolutely agree with you. Mentoring is extremely important. Firstly, because they receive a personalized support. Also, working with somebody who is experienced in their field gives them some feeling that somebody supports them and they become more self-confident. I think that because we have experience also from the other project, Women in Business, that we had like in the previous programming period, very important topic for us. I think it's also mentioned from Diana in her presentation, is soft skills development. There's still room for such topics to be covered when it comes to the self-confidence, when it comes to presentation skills, because women have possibility to present themselves in a different way than men, let's say like this. And it's necessary to pay attention on this kind of topics. So in my opinion, besides clearly technological like digital skills, artificial intelligence, cybersecurity, soft skills are very, very important for development of the business and presenting this business in a good way.
Okay, thank you. Dana, do you have anything to add to this list of topics?
Yeah, I think as generally female entrepreneurs don't really like making mistakes. They really need quite exact, quite practical tips, a list of, I don't know, 20 tips, how to do marketing better, how to involve funding, how to such kind of things, how to start without money, 0 to 1 tips. Of course, a part of the soft skill part. So not general, not so basic questions, but more exact answers.
So boosting confidence should be something a good project focus on, and soft skill development. And to this list, I would add the artificial intelligence, because it's kind of a must to adapt artificial intelligence, and as results come out regarding this, it seems that women are a bit slower to adapt to artificial intelligence. So everything which is connected to artificial intelligence plus the digitization of businesses, I think it's also should be a hot topic for a next possible project.
Yeah,
so
it's like when they have a colleague free of charge using AI.
What
So
do you
I
mean
don't
if they,
like an assistant? So if they collaborate
okay.
with, I don't know, with
Okay.
ChatGPT or another
Okay,
AI
okay.
tool, it's like having a
Okay.
no cost colleague.
Yeah, okay, so I see what you mean. So they can save time and money by
Yes.
applying an artificial intelligence tool. Yes, of course. Okay, so let's see if we have received any question. So we haven't received any question, though I hope it was still useful for the participants coming to our webinar. And I am really glad to see that out of all participants, it's only 2 who had to left our webinar before the end. So, but wrapping up, I am really thankful to you, Marie and Diana, participate and be with us in our webinar. And just before we say goodbye, once more, I want to give you the opportunity to tell about what are the activities or events currently are happening in your project and you would like to communicate about it. Maria, please go ahead.
Thank you once again for this opportunity to present our project and to share with the audience what we're doing, because I think it's important that the people should be informed and to know about different opportunities. I would like to share 2 main things that are forthcoming. The first one is actually not part of the activity of the project, but somehow related. It might be interesting for the participants. And this is one conference that is organized on the 5th of November in Zagreb. It is a hybrid event. It could be attended online or on site. This is a conference, Women Entrepreneurs of the Danube region, Transition and Circularity by Female Entrepreneurs. This conference is organized by the coordinators of Priority Area 8, Competitiveness of Enterprises of the European Strategy of Danube region, together with Technology Park of Varaždin in Croatia and RE-FEM from Bulgaria, because we are also coordinator of the working group Female Entrepreneurship under the same priority area. So there is going to be a lot of examples of good practices, implemented projects, panel discussions, very interesting topics are going to be discussed. So everybody are invited. We can spread the information maybe through you, Katalin, and you can send it to the participants if they're interested and they could register. There is an open registration now. So this is the one thing that is forthcoming. And regarding our RE-Circular project, the most important, let's say, thing that is related with women entrepreneurs are already more or less mentioned in my presentation, is that in December we are going to launch a call for recruitment of women entrepreneurs who would like to make changes in their business model to become circular. And this innovation contest is going to be opened in the period December-January. Maybe I could give some more details what they will receive from the participation in this project. And what is the idea is that approved applicants will have a chance to receive an expert support, to get a market potential report so they can receive evaluation how this change is going to influence on their business. And the best, as I said, are going to join in Slovakia in March 2026 on pop-up store to present their business on international level, to make contacts, partnership. And very important that everything is free of charge for the participants because it's covered by the project.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you once again.
You are welcome, and of course we will share all this information with the participants and through our social media channels as well.
Thank you very much.
Diana,
regarding
the last thing you want to share?
Yes, so I hope to see you on the 30th of October, where you can meet precious project heads up, and you can get to know Women Tech EU. And because WomenSure will not have another call anymore, but we would like to showcase what kind of opportunities do you have. So I really recommend you to participate not only on that event, but also in accelerations and incubation programs, because this is free for you. So why wouldn't you join? You can meet precious mentors, which can launch your journey. So please follow our website and social sites, and you will see what else do we have.
Okay, thank you. And as a last speaker, I would like to share that we are soon publishing the training manual within the RE-FEM project, on which we will communicate on our social media channels and website. So thank you for coming once again, and I truly hope that it was valuable and useful for our participants. So thank you for coming once again.
Bye.
And bye to everyone.
Thank you for inviting, and bye to everyone. Have a nice day.
Very welcome, and have a nice day to all of you.